Twitch and YouTube, welcome to the show. Let's get this going here. All right, it is Monday evening. Let me go ahead and get stuff going here for Facebook to make certain everything here is working properly. All right, recording is going, and here we go. Countdown has begun, and we will be with everybody here in just a little bit. If you're on Twitch and YouTube, we start a little bit early and give Facebook a little bit of time to move into view, so to speak. We do not have anything major taking place tonight, although we do have some areas of rain. Looks like the flash flood watch has been trimmed down by just a little bit, so some good news on that. So for right now, again, decently quiet. Here's hoping it stays that way into the rest of the evening, because for right now, I don't think we have too much to worry about when it comes to major problems out there, but we'll keep you up to date on that as to what's going on in the semi-near future. If you have questions about the forecast, again, drop them into the comments section. We'd love to see what you're seeing out there, especially when it comes to anything involving rain reports or anything else of that nature. So please make certain you drop that in, and here we go. And all right, there we go. We are now online. Excuse me one second. I've got to move the snack pile out of the way here. All right, I am Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. It is Monday evening, June the 8th, and this is Weather Overtime, brought to you by Epicos Comics, Cards, and Games. Thanks a lot for being our sponsor on that. You can find out more about their shop at epicosccg.com, your one-stop geek shop. And thanks to Epicos and all of our sponsors, in fact, for being sponsors with us here at News 12. For the rest of the evening, again, rain chances, yes, thunderstorms possibly, severe weather doesn't really look like it for right now. And in the course of the next several days, there will be many more chances for plenty of rainfall across the area. So again, as it says in the topics section up top, definitely want to get ready for the potential for being weather aware, and stay tuned to News 12 as we keep you updated as to what may be coming our way in the semi-near future. It is, again, muggy, it's warm, and we don't have much of anything going on, at least for now, when it comes to weather. If you got questions about the forecast, drop them into the comments section. This is our effort to do some outreach to the community, and if any of our viewers, the audience, have questions about the forecast, that's great. Would love to hear from you. If we can't answer what the question is all about, that's cool. Just go ahead and we'll try to point you in the right direction as possible. I'm doing everything here. I'm the producer, director, camera, audio for all of this. We are live on Twitch and YouTube tonight, so if Facebook is not your thing, you can tune in to find out more details about what's going on out across much of the region here for tonight. But for Monday, let's go ahead and get things started and show you a little bit more about what's going on. We're taking a look at the area on radar. We did have some pretty heavy rainfall earlier, and now the heaviest amount of rainfall is over portions of northwest Georgia, moving out of the News 12 viewing area. We also have into and around northeastern Alabama, southern and southwestern Jackson County, still under a flash flood warning for heavier rainfall that came into and around this area. This has been quite the view over the last several days, as we have seen a huge amount of rainfall in and around this particular location, to where the heaviest rain right now over portions of northwest Georgia. We have seen quite a lot of everything in the way of rainfall out there, but some of the amounts in some of these locations have just been really huge. Numbers into and around portions of the area close to Skyline, Scottsboro, High Top, Pleasant Groves, in and around northeastern parts of Alabama, really just racking up huge amounts of rainfall, and all that water falling on very saturated ground has got to go someplace, and that is why we are seeing the potential of a decent amount of flash flooding, and why we have those watches in effect, and why everybody traveling around out there needs to be very careful because of, again, all this rainfall that we have received across portions of the area. Some areas picking up as much as estimated 8 inches of rainfall right around the Skyline Drive area, 6.8 in some locations, 8.1, 7.6. Quite a lot of rainfall in that one small western half of Jackson County. So that is, again, a good reason why we want to make certain that everybody is paying attention to these watches and need to, again, watch and see what is going on for your own safety out there. Numbers at this point, not doing too bad for right now. Where it comes to current rainfall, we have nothing in the way of severe weather. And again, hopefully it stays that way, but it is going to be possible that we're going to be seeing even more problems with rain over the next several days. So if you have outdoor plans, something to watch. If you have any travel plans, that also is going to be a very big situation there. So something, again, to watch out for in and around these locations. Overnight, heading out around midnight or afterwards for a bit of a break and a bit of a nosh. It is going to be quiet, hopefully some showers passing on through, mainly just cloudy skies. But if you're heading out for a nosh, take that rain gear with you because you may not need it immediately, but you probably will need it at some point in time during the evening at some point. Thanks a lot to our viewers for sending in some magnificent pictures, starting off a new week of pictures here. Diana Bennett from Harrison, thank you very much for your picture of some fog with the sunrise back around May the 20th, a little bit less than a month ago, again from the Harrison area. So thank you very much, Diana Bennett, for sending in that beautiful picture right there. If you have pictures, we'd love to see what it is that you're seeing so we can show everybody else. That is where you come in for this. All you have to do is email them to us, drop them to social media in the comments section. Best way to do it is to go to our website, WDEF.com/photos, and you can see more about the pictures, what everybody has been submitting with your picture of the day. So please make certain you send those in. Fog, rainbows, rain, late night mist, sunrise, sunset. We're not picky. We'll take pretty much just about anything and everything that anybody can offer. So please make certain you're able to get those into us. Temperatures today, again, relatively close to where we should be for this time of the year. We're behind for the month again. For the month of June, we picked up a fair amount of rain in the last couple of days, so that reduced our deficit by give or take about a ½ an inch. It's not much, but as of right now, again, we will take pretty much everything and anything that we can possibly get to help out with the rain. Out and about tomorrow, you're going to need some rain protection. Again, there might be gaps in between the raindrops, but just like today, there will be more chances of rain across the area. So out and about for a stroll, camping, fishing, whatever it is, be prepared to take shelter as we see more potential problems with rain across much of the area. Quiet in downtown, some wet rooftops on the parking garages out there, traffic on 27 moving along well, the lights of Lookout Mountain visible off in the distance, and some light haze and clouds. You can just barely see it above the horizon around Raccoon Mountain off in the distance. Our 1% list scenic city camera, which you can see on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network page. That's at WDEF.com/weather if you'd like to see what's going on there. We have several cameras to take a look at. High 70s, very high dew point temperatures, so relative humidity is, again, equally high, back in the 90% range, so just a little bit more than sultry across the area once again. Air quality today was not bad overall. Allergy levels, mold spores were high last week and then moderate. Now they're down to low, along with tree and grass and weed pollen. So it's not terrible, but anybody who's suffering a bit of an allergies, you may see some problems there. Likewise, overall air quality, not totally terrible, but we could use a little bit more in the way of some cleaner air. The main pollutant was smoke, soot, and exhaust, the smaller particle pollution there. Next highest particle pollution, the PM10 variety, that's dust, pollen, and soil, tied with ozone gas at a single-digit good 9 level. And beyond that, carbon monoxide reported at a very low 3. So not that much going on. Could be better air quality, that's true. Kind of stagnant out there for a little bit. Again, what's left of those showers and thunderstorms from earlier over parts of northeast Alabama and northwest Georgia, moving out of the picture. And again, if you have any travel plans for overnight, I would recommend taking it easy and making certain that you have a lot of time on your hands. Don't go rushing down wet roadways. And also, please make certain, again, if you see any water-covered roadways, don't drive through those. That could be the last mistake you ever make. As I posted earlier today, meteorologist Dennis Mercereau posted very wisely, you wouldn't drive into a wildfire, so why would you drive into a flood? So just something to think about there. Overall, the entire area getting some rainfall in the last couple of hours. Heaviest rain around southern Whitfield and southern Murray counties, Georgia. More rain around I-20, Birmingham down to Atlanta. Diminishing showers up around I-75, I-40 west of Knoxville. Beyond that, there's just not that much going on in the way of a concentrated nature. Now, there is a decent amount of severe weather well back to our west. Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming, picking up some pretty intense weather moving through the central plain states and just into western Kentucky. We've got a pretty good amount of thunderstorms taking place here around Paducah down to about Murray, even some tornado warnings taking place here earlier on. But for us, little, if anything, at this time in the way of very concentrated stuff, so that is exceptionally good news. The flood watch has been removed from all of the News 12 viewing area with the exception of Grundy County, Tennessee. Grundy County in the News 12 viewing area is under the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service in Nashville, so they have chosen to keep that flood watch in effect for tonight. But for the rest of the area, it looks like that is not the case. That could be easily reissued given the current circumstances that we have out there in the way of possibilities of more showers and thunderstorms. Getting ahead of myself here, let me zap back here real quick because I skipped a couple of slides. What we have is, again, plenty of moisture off the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to be sitting in place for the next several days. There is no major pattern shift coming in to change any of this. So if you have any plans for outdoors, I would really be flexible as possible just to make certain that you have the opportunity to, again, make certain you can move everybody back indoors again. That's a big thing in any sporting event or any huge populated event where you have several hundred or several thousand people. The planners of that event have to watch out to make certain you can get everybody to shelter and that you have adequate shelter nearby for them to go to in that amount of time. That really says something, again, when major league events do not plan ahead for that or just assume the thunderstorm's going to split and go around the event and everything will be just fine. Doesn't always work that way. So again, paying attention to the weather is going to be one of the best things that you can possibly do. We don't have, again, too much happening. This storm system sitting back to our north is not going to be that much of an issue for right now. Again, for the next couple of days, we're going to be watching this system kind of haul back to our north, and that's going to allow warm air to just infiltrate and stick around. Should be in the 90s as we go into the next few days. This next system coming through by about Friday afternoon might have a little bit more punch to it, but for right now, it looks like it's going to be arriving, causing showers and thunderstorms into Friday night. Again, we're not looking at severe weather. That is very good news. But at this time of the year, we do need to pay attention to that. Low temperatures, northeast Alabama, you'll be back in the high 60s to low 70s, a little bit above where we should be for this time of the year. High 60s to low 70s for north central and northwest Georgia. Low to mid 60s, a little cooler for western areas of North Carolina, so not doing too bad there. And for southeast Tennessee, pretty much the same as everybody else except North Carolina. We'll be back in the high 60s to around the low 70s. So it'll be kind of comfortable out there where the temperatures are concerned, but it is not going to be anything in the way of comfortable into the next several days. Highs on Tuesday, we'll be back in the low to mid 80s, but a few high 80s, especially where the sun comes out. You'll be able to see more of that taking place out there. Fog tonight doesn't look to be a major concern for now, although some areas are a little lower. Calhoun and Ellijay, Georgia in the single digits. 6 miles reported in Decatur, Cleveland, Dalton, 7 miles in Fort Payne and Madisonville. So we could see some localized fog into later on tonight, so that can also be a bit of a problem. Now, in the near future, as we watch our next waves of showers and thunderstorms come on through, it's a possibility that we may see more potential rainfall at various points in time. I don't think we're going to be, again, a complete and total washout, but we do need to watch, because even into the mid of the month, the medium range forecast from the Climate Prediction Center is showing an increased threat of heavy precipitation, as in potential for flash flooding. That is something that is very important to watch out for. Even though there's no severe weather, that is something that really could be a bit of a problem. The threat for flash flooding will remain across the area for tonight, even though it's diminished a little bit. It will continue and increase into tomorrow, a 2 out of 4 slight risk. This is flash flooding, not severe weather. Flash flooding potential here, again, will continue on Tuesday, continue into Wednesday back to our northwest. It leaves the area for at least a little bit, and then starts to return Thursday into Friday as that next storm system begins to make its way on through. It takes time for these storm systems to drain away the rainfall, and as of right now, we have done very good in the last month or so, 151% above normal on rain in a month's time. That pales in comparison to Macon, Georgia, 200% plus, 184% plus in Augusta, Georgia. So everybody picking up some pretty decently healthy amounts of rain over the next couple of days. Is that the one? There it is. Okay, nope, not that one. Sorry, I'm picking out graphics as I go here, because unfortunately I don't have a producer to run this. Next several days, again, rainfall amounts, rain coming and going, but there will be very good possibilities of picking up well over 3 to 5 inches of rainfall, especially along the Tennessee-North Carolina line, parts of the I-40 corridor. And again, not everybody's going to be picking up the same amounts. Now, this computer model is just one computer model's opinion, and we see again the potential for varying amounts of heavy rainfall. Next 24 hours, when the next computer models come out, this map could look completely and totally different. So if you live in Rome, which is only picking up, according to this, 1.9 inches, that could flip, and we could see very heavy rainfall of 4 inches plus in some other locations. So be prepared for changes on this as we go into the course of the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and take a look here for just 1 second. Let me redo a graphic or two on the fly and take a look at what it looks like for our 7-day forecast, which, again, for right now, does give us the potential for a lot more rain, again, over the next several days. That's where we're going to be seeing the worst potential out there. All right, so what we're looking for is going to be the possibility of more chances of rain and thunderstorms all the way, through the next several days, and that does include right into the weekend and around Flag Day. Remember that, again, if you're going to be displaying the flag for Flag Day, need to make certain you bring it in. If it's raining or inclement weather, there's a U.S. code for displaying the flag properly, and the flag should not be let out into the rainfall. It needs to be retired properly and brought back inside once again. Temperatures will be on the rise. We'll be back in the high 80s to the lower 90s, maybe diminishing a bit by this time next week, but numbers will be dropping off at least a little while in there to help us stay away from the high 90s, triple digits, which we can easily be at this time of the year. So that is what we're looking at, again, for right now when it comes to rain. And you can find more on our 7-day forecast by going to our weather site, WDEF.com/weather, if you'd like to check out our website there. All right, taking a look at the tropics, we do not have any problem in the Atlantic at this time. Little, if anything, showing up in the way of problems. National Hurricane Center, again, showing that everything in the Gulf and the Caribbean is very quiet, and the Atlantic in general. However, looking down into and around, and of course the computer is starting to have a mind of its own, so we'll zoom out there. We do not have any potential areas of development, which is what we've been showing you for the last week or so since we got into hurricane season a week ago today. What was left of Tropical Storm Amanda diminished and disappeared over the weekend, so no longer a threat there. Meanwhile, we have Boris and Christina, two twin, basically, tropical systems sitting right off the Central American and the southern Mexican coastline. The blue lines that you see on there are showing, again, the potential for where the computer models think everything is going to be going, nicknamed, as you might guess, spaghetti models. Right now, they're in pretty good agreement to be able to watch this system. Boris is going to be kind of slowly making its way along the coast to the west-northwest. This is going to dump a huge amount of rainfall on portions of southern Mexico. This system looks like it's going to curve out back into the waters of the Pacific by just a little bit and then make its way onshore, western Central America, southeastern Mexico, and possibly into the Gulf into the next few days. That is something to really consider. But it's also interesting to note that over the last few days, and if you've seen our social media posting, you've noticed that there has been the potential of some development in the Caribbean, the Bay of Campeche, and parts of the southern Gulf. It's a very good possibility that these systems are cannibalizing the energy from the Atlantic and the Caribbean, saving it all for themselves, taking that moisture and that energy and using it to develop their systems here. That, again, is keeping things over here very quiet. So that is, in and of itself, some very good news to think about at this time. The other thing we've got to take a look at is, again, the possibility of some very warm waters. Anything over 80 degrees on this map is rocket fuel for any developing systems. And that is why we really have to watch what is going on in the tropics at any point in time, because as Otis did back in western Mexico, a couple of seasons ago, it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane in less than 24 hours. That's amazing, and that's all due to that very warm water sitting off the west coast of Mexico. There's also this huge blob of warmer water. It's called El Nino, part of the Southern Oscillation. This is helping to curb hurricane development here, and that is what is expected to happen for the course of the next several months. So if that happens, we may see less in the way of hurricane development out there. Again, it really just depends. Right now, we are just into the barely beginning portion of where we can accurately judge an El Nino as whether or not it is quote-unquote super or not. So that's something we're going to have to watch. And, of course, we'll bring you updates on that all the way through hurricane season, so stay tuned for more. With News 12, we'll keep you updated. Not to mention the fact, again, we're watching that El Nino. If you'd like to know more about what's going on with El Nino and what is the experts expect to go on, the World Meteorological Organization has issued their outlook, and they're giving it an 80% chance of a super or a very strong El Nino at the very least. You can find out more at WMO.int if you would like to find out more from the WMO in regards to their forecast. Great place to go to for science and weather information. And of course, we'll keep you updated on that. That should just about do it again for tonight. I think we're pretty good on everything taking place, but in the morning, I would take that rain gear again with you. Don't forget about Chip Chapman. He's got your complete forecast coming up on the morning show starting at 5 a.m. Eastern on there. 60 years ago tonight, hard to believe, but true, 2 years before I was born, Topeka, Kansas, my hometown, was facing a major catastrophe, as big as you can possibly get, monster-sized tornado. In the scale back then, it was an F5, winds estimated to be between 150 to over 200 miles per hour at some point. This thing came roaring in from southwest parts of Shawnee County, Kansas, across Topeka, went right across the city in less than half an hour, and in that time frame, it caused over, I believe, around or over 17 deaths. So that right there was the tornado of Topeka, Kansas history. Part of the reason I am a meteorologist is because of personal history and weather history like this. And when I say personal history, interchanging with that, you can listen to what happened. My mom was originally from Jefferson City, Missouri. She was coming back to Topeka that Sunday evening to just to get home. She saw the tornado on the east side of Topeka from the turnpike entrance, and she had to race across the city to get home. She had to go across the tornado's path to get there. And if she had been 5 minutes late, I wouldn't be here talking to you tonight. That's, again, a very close call. I had a chance to talk with her back during the pandemic, and startup, I haven't really had a chance to grow it too much, but my video blog talking about weather or just whatever happens to come to mind, it's called Weather or Whatever. I had a chance to talk with my mom, Carolyn, about what she went through that night. She was fine. She made it home in just enough time to hear Bill Curtis, famed news anchor on WIBW in Topeka, Kansas, utter his famous line, "For God's sake, take cover." And after that, the storm went right through downtown, hit the Kansas Capitol building, and caused all sorts of extremely weird things to happen. And if you haven't seen anything about that, there's a couple of good books that I will recommend on here if you haven't seen them before. So please, again, take advantage of that and take a look, and also listen to this. This is on my social media pages. You can find it by scrolling down on my Facebook page a little farther to take a look. She had some amazing remembrances from that night and the days afterwards about some of the strange things that happened. So thank you very much to my mom, Carolyn, who lives back in Topeka, Kansas. And if you'd like to listen to this, again, please drop by our website for more details, again, or on my social media pages. You can listen to the whole interview. It took about an hour or so to put this together, and great opportunity to learn more about why severe weather knowledge and protection is so much to think about out there for the time being and into the future out across anywhere you happen to be. Thanks to everybody who voted in our poll for the day. It was stretched over from last week. Again, it's your opportunity to vote in our poll, and it was all about the pictures from last week's HEP heating weather window picture of the day. Pamela Johnson from Chattanooga, Tennessee, you took the well over half of the votes for your picture of a sunset at Sanibel Island, Florida. Thank you very much for that picture, and to everybody else who voted in our Pick the Pick poll. A new poll will go up at midnight at WDEF.com/vote now if you'd like to check that out. So please do so. And thanks to everybody for participating in our polls. Again, news, weather, sports, let's chat polls, all available there for you if you'd like to take a look and see more about anything there. That should do it for tonight. That's our complete forecast. And again, thanks to everybody for keeping an eye on what's going on with the weather, with News 12. And again, if you have questions or would like to see more about anything or less, or if there's just something you would like to tell us about weather-wise or something you would like to see more on here, please go to, again, our email address, my email address down below at aonek@wdef.com. You can reach anybody here at News 12 through our website, so please check in if there's something we can do to show you a little bit more about what's going on. And if you'd like to get in contact with us to tell us about a story idea you have or anything else like that, we can't do our jobs without you letting us know about what's going on out there. So please drop us a note, give us an idea as to what's going on. That'll do it. Again, Chip's got your forecast in the morning, so stay tuned for more there. And of course, you can always reach more information on our website at WDEF.com/weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Stay tuned for Chip Chapman in the morning, and I'll be back tomorrow night